surrounding areas.
I'm Crystal.villanueva, and I'm a licensed loan officer in the state of Texas.
So today we're super excited to be talking to you about VA loans, and particularly with our location of where we work, VA loans are a huge part of our business. So San Antonio has several military bases, so obviously we have a lot of active duty military, and we've also got a lot of veterans that choose to retire in San Antonio or the surrounding areas because of the great health care from our bases, and we're just a great military-friendly city. We also have a low cost of living, no state tax, so there's lots of reasons people love Texas and particularly the San Antonio area. So let's get started. Talk to me about VA loans in case someone doesn't exactly understand what it is. What's a VA loan?
So a VA loan is a government-based program. It's eligible or available to veterans, reservists, anyone that has worked in the U.S. Armed Forces, such as the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. Okay,
so talk to me about the benefits of a VA loan.
So first and foremost, one of the best benefits is 100% financing, no down payment. I mean, we've had customers come into a house, $200,000, $300,000 with no money down, and can get their earnest money back.
Wow.
Another benefit is no mortgage insurance, which is huge. On 100% financing, these borrowers have to pay mortgage insurance unless they put 20% down, but in this case, 100% financing and no mortgage insurance. So that means a buyer can have way more buying power.
Yes, because you don't have extra fees that are into your monthly payment.
Correct.
So you're buying more house instead of a lower house with those fees.
Yes. No prepayment penalty, which is great. That means if they had to, sell the house because they had to PCS to a different area in the U.S., they wouldn't get penalized for that. It's much more easier to qualify for a VA loan, especially with, clients or borrowers that have lower credit scores. They're a little bit more lenient. VA typically looks at the last 12 months compared to other loans that look at the last 2 years. So that part of a VA loan is pretty lenient.
Great. All right. So how does a veteran or active duty military, how does someone know that they do in fact qualify and they're eligible?
So we have to pull a certificate of eligibility, and this will determine their eligibility to purchase a home using a VA loan. This will confirm that they've served the amount of time eligible in the military or U.S. Armed Forces.
Okay.
And, somebody that has owned in the past, this will allow us to see if they qualify for a second VA loan using bonus entitlement.
Okay. So a lot of information they need to find out to confirm, but it's very widely known and accepted that if you qualify, you're probably eligible. Okay. So does this loan, you said that it requires no money down, but let's talk about the closing costs.
Yes.
So there's a down payment that's usually required with other loan types, but any type of loan has closing costs. So if you are really trying to get in no money down, then our option is for me to come into this situation, at that point, in negotiating our offer, I can try to request for the seller to pay for those closing costs. And so by doing so, that truly helps you get in no money down. I will say that Crystal, with the mortgage company she works with, is able to not have those extra fees like some of them. Every lender that offers a VA loan can charge what they want for fees. And theirs is much more affordable because they are very military friendly. And so it's definitely a great resource to work with her.
So we waive lender fees in the amount of $1,500, which is huge. I mean, nowadays, we're in a seller's market, and that would definitely come in handy when you don't have to negotiate closing costs in the contract.
That means I have to negotiate for $1,500 less that I'm trying to get the seller to pay for us.
Yes.
For your closing costs. So, all right. If the buyer does have money to put down, when is it a good idea, or should they consider putting money down towards purchasing the home versus it being 100% financed?
I truly recommend that a client puts more money down if they have those funds available. If they don't have any disabilities with the military, therefore it's going to reduce their VA funding fee that's being financed into the loan. So over the 30 years, they incur interest and pay that. So that's when I would truly recommend somebody putting money down on the 100% financing.
Great. All right. How much are the normal closing costs, and who pays these costs?
So just talking out loud, on a $200,000 purchase price, you're looking at about $4,000. And that's because, we waive our lender fees, which is great again. The seller's allowed to pay all of these fees. They're actually allowed to pay up to 4% of the sales price.
Okay.
And again, that all has to be negotiated up front.
Okay, so, to make an offer stronger, and we may be in a position where you don't ask the seller to pay for those, but we certainly can. All right, the minimum credit score for this type of loan is, I know, a lot more generous than what a lot of loan types allow for.
So we allow down to a 580, which is great. There's been a lot of people that have had issues with, previous employment or, getting laid off. And so this will definitely come in handy. Again, VA looks at the last 12 months. And, this is a loan that's extremely lenient in regards to issues in the past.
That's great. I appreciate, it's very generous for our military, which I appreciate. Okay, so this has been different in the past, and the stipulations have been different, so I want to make sure and cover this. Are VA buyers allowed to purchase more than one home using their VA benefit?
They are. So again, we pull that certificate of eligibility. It's going to tell us how much entitlement has been utilized, and we can restore a portion of their entitlement called bonus entitlement. And I've done tons of loans for veterans that have purchased a second primary residence and rented out their first home. And it's been a great deal, and they still can qualify for 100% financing.
So in the past, that's been different. The max amount has been different, and it's not been favorable for you to have a home somewhere else, and then you get stationed, and you really like having that rent home as an investment. Yes. And now that's a lot more plausible for you to be able to do that. Okay, so we talked about that the VA loan does not have the mortgage insurance, and that we touched on this, the VA funding fee. If you have, what's the percentage on disability?
10% disability rating.
Then that VA funding fee is waived entirely.
Yes.
So, and particularly the company that she works with is really great for our VA buyers because they don't have the extra cost of the other fees that a lot of the other lenders and companies do. So, if you've got questions, give us a call. Let Crystal look into it and, request your certificate of eligibility and all of that, so that she can tell you exactly what the nuts and bolts are. On my end, obviously I can set up a search and we can start looking at the market in the area, talk about the little towns around San Antonio, figure out what's gonna fit your lifestyle and your drive time if you are still working at one of the bases, but even just to be closer to the healthcare. And we're happy to walk through that with you. I do wanna touch on, we've had another very popular video in the past that discussed VA versus Texas Vet Land Board and the differences between those. Texas Vet Land Board is definitely still an option. Right now, VA seems to usually be the choice just based on the stipulations and the benefits of it. But it's definitely still something we want to make sure you're educated on and that you know your options. So give us a call if you need anything or let us know how we can help.
Thank you.
Thank you. San Antonio area. We have fabulous retirement.
Officer in the state of Texas.
Today we're super excited to share you